Good evening, everyone. Sorry for that delay. We have started 10 minutes later than the usual time. I'm sorry. But how are you all? Good evening, all of you. Welcome to another episode of Boost Your Vocabulary with Isha Scholastic. It's been a while. We haven't really met on YouTube. Abhi classes were such कि मेरे classes चल रहे थे classes and इसके timings में, which is why. But how are you all? How is the preparation coming along? How is the पढ़ाई चल रही है? कैसी चल रही है? Hi Shan. How's everything at your end, all of you? Good evening. Good evening, Naman. Hello, Shardul. Aditya, hi. Hello. Okay, wonderful. We will start with 5 words. We'll be doing it through idioms and then we'll do Mentee. Okay. अभी तक तो ठीक है. Okay. Hello, Div. Somakura. Okay, whatever that means. Hi, Mishti. Okay, wonderful. तो आप लोगों के बोर्ड्स चल रहे होंगे ना? There must be some of you who have your boards right now, ongoing boards, etc. I hope that all of that's going well. We'll start with the first word that we're supposed to do for the day. So here you go. Pehla word. So we're going to be doing it through idioms, right? Idioms karte karte, we will look at some vocab words that we can talk about from there. आप anime देखते? नहीं, not even a little. I have no. If that was an anime character, I don't know. Good evening, Ayush. Is the verbal ability book given by Pratham to crack IPM-IIM? Yes. Plus this, plus your classes, plus your practice booklet, vocab booster, all that. Acha. Okay. Okay. All right, so okay. Start with the first word. First idiom is cutting corners. When you are cutting corners, you're basically trying कि किसी तरह से आप काम निपटा रहे हो. Okay, you are doing something very poorly and not in a very thorough manner. So you're just kind of doing it for the sake of it. You're not doing it because you are determined, sincere, etc. You're not doing it sincerely, so you're doing it poorly. आप ऐसे ही चलता काम करते हुए जा रहे हो. That's cutting corners. So the project didn't turn out the way I wanted because my partner had cut corners. That means चलता काम किया उसने ज़्यादा sincerity के साथ नहीं किया. Wasn't very particularly good at what he was doing because he was doing it poorly. So that is cutting corners. But the words that we can use for vocabulary is lax. Being lax about something, matlab chill, relaxed, lenient, to an extent where you're becoming very insincere in your work. So careless, insincere, being complacent, कि अच्छा ठीक है हो जाएगा, चल जाएगा काम, that kind of thing is lax. Okay. Negligent. Again, when you're being negligent, you're not taking care of things. You're doing things poorly. Remiss also means the same thing. If you are, let's say, you did this work with remiss or you remissed this work, that means you're basically doing it with laxity. Cutting slack. Have you heard of this idiom called cut him some slack? Cut him some slack or cut that person some slack is being a little lenient. उसको थोड़ा सा leave दो कि ठीक है कोई बात नहीं सब हो जाएगा. That kind of thing. Being slack in your work is when you are being very lenient, a little too lenient, thoda zyada lenient hona is slack. So that's cutting corners. That's our first idiom. Those were our first few words. So we did 4 words from it: lax, negligent, remiss, and slack. Let's go to the next word or next idiom. For the next idiom, it's worth the king's ransom. Imagine if a king gets kidnapped. Okay, so the kidnapper is going to ask for some money in return of getting the king back safely. Imagine kitna zyada money that person would ask. Ransom is again that money that is asked by kidnappers. All right, specifically जब आप किसी को छुड़वाते हो kidnapping से. So a king's ransom would be a very hefty amount, very big amount, huge amount. So worth a king's ransom matlab something that's very, very expensive. It's very expensive. It's like a white elephant. It costs an arm and leg. बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा. ठीक है? So this apartment is worth a king's ransom. That means this apartment is really expensive, very pricey. बहुत ज़्यादा. It costs an arm and leg. iPhones are worth a king's ransom for sure. Swagger की अलग दिक्कतें हैं. Absolutely different problems in life. Okay, vocab में you can look at words like exorbitant, extravagant, lavish, pricey. Extremely pricey would mean बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा, amount, extravagant, exorbitant, all of that. Another idiom that I'm sure you must have heard of, ये मैंने अभी जो दो use किए हैं, cost an arm and leg, right? Or you can say something that is a white elephant, meaning something that is extremely expensive. That was the second word. Let's go to the third word now. Go to the third word. Next would be a far cry. Now a far cry, I think ये भी हमने किया है, or maybe you might have done this in some of the CBS chapters if I'm not wrong. Far cry is something that's a very, very different matter altogether. Or something that's way too far from, let's say, the target. Okay, so let's say, for example, the sentence says this movie is a far cry from the book. That means जो book में था उससे वो बहुत different थी. So a far cry would mean something very different, extremely different, right? Or he's a far cry from the idealistic young writer he wants to become. That means he's a little too far. Alright, बहुत ज़्यादा distance है अभी, metaphorically अभी बहुत time है वो. I think there was this idiom जो हमने हिंदी में करा था ना, दिल्ली दूर है. So far cry is basically that, okay, कि अभी बहुत दूर है, that target that you want to achieve, that's little too far from what you have. What's the meaning of spendthrift? Spendthrift is a person who spends a lot, ज़्यादा. Okay, so he's a far cry from the idealistic young writer. That means he is too far metaphorically. तो हम इसको vocabs words में use कर सकते हैं tangential, something that's very different, let's say हटके, मतलब जो हम बात कर रहे हैं उससे बिल्कुल अलग, that's tangential. So if I say, let's say we were talking about vocabulary and some XYZ person starts talking about something completely different, I'd say that that's a far cry. All right, far cry from what we're discussing. So we can use words like, it's tangential, it's digressive, it's meandering, matlab main topic say very different, very hatke, right? It's in a way where you're saying you're going off topic. That's tangential, that's digressive, that's meandering. Please upload or share some materials for such idioms which are important, will help. I have done that on the Telegram groups. All your Telegram groups have idioms and phrasal verbs. Please go check that out. The exams of far cry from what I've studied. See here, that is okay, good. All right, let's go to the next, the fourth idiom. The fourth idiom is put something on ice. When you're putting something on ice, matlab you're holding it for later. We're putting it on hold. You're not going to be working on it like that. थोड़ी देर के लिए इस पे बात नहीं करेंगे. That kind of thing is putting something on ice. So I can't find time for the new product. So I've put it on ice. That means because I'm not able to do some work on it, or because I'm not able to spend, let's say, some time, I'm going to put it on ice, meaning I'm going to put it on hold, and मैं आगे बाद में दोबारा करूँगी. So let's see. अच्छा अनन्या, what you can do is अनन्या मुझे अलग से Telegram पे message कर दो, so I will forward वहाँ पे. Okay, I'm not sure which batch you're from, right? So send me a separate message on Telegram and send it to me. Words that we can use for putting something on hold. When something is on hold or is not being used for a bit or is in suspension, so you can use the word abeyance. Abeyance and suspension are basically the same things. ऐसी चीज जो बाद के लिए रखी है. Similarly, remission, also something that's inactive right now may be active later, right? If you've heard of this idiom called putting something on the back burner. Have you heard of this? Putting something on the back burner. Meaning, again, putting it for later. Baad ke liye, putting it off for later, saying, okay, I'll do it later. That kind of thing is putting something on the back burner or putting something on ice. Does that fourth idiom. Let's go to the fifth idiom now. For our fifth idiom, we have go on a wild goose chase. Deferred कह सकते हैं. Going on a wild goose chase is doing something that's absolutely pointless. Something that makes no sense, absolutely void of any logic. That is going on a wild goose chase. जिसका कोई sense नहीं बनता, जिसका कोई rhyme and reason नहीं है, which is still doing it, that is going on a wild goose chase. So he was searching for me for the cheat sheet, but he soon realized that he was on a wild goose chase. That again, I don't know how many of you would relate. You did not have any furry on you, and this invigilator was looking for some kind of furry on you, and that person realized he was on a wild goose chase, meaning he did not have the cheat sheet with you. So whatever he was doing was pointless. It was futile. So now vocab we can use words like futile, inefficacious. That means something that's not effective, so pointless. Thwarted also means the same thing. When something's thwarted, means it's pointless. It has no rhyme, no logic. Vacuous. Vacuous also is something that's void of logic. That's vacuous. So all of these words are basically what describes going on a wild goose chase. If I'm not in batch, I'm still in Jan, would it be provided with the material, or do I need to spend? I may not be able to put it on YouTube. The unfortunate problem is that. Okay, so we might have to use YouTube ka channel only for that in that situation. Okay. Yeah, going in vain, absolutely correct. So these are our 5 idioms and some of the words that we derived from those idioms. Let's now go to the Mentee part of the day. And let me just very quickly share the screen. So today's Mentee, let me see, aaj ka Mentee is easy only, more or less. It's a mixed bag. Also, it's like a revision of everything that we have done all these days, all these months. Okay, so that should help. That's your screen, that's your code. The code is 89764209. आ जाओ इस पे जल्दी जल्दी ज्वाइन कर लो सब लोग. 89764209. Mixed bag है आज का Mentee, मतलब there'll be some idioms, some grammar questions, some vocabulary question, and क्योंकि these are all the things that we have done earlier, that means it should be something that you should be able to answer ideally. Hello Stuti. So that is that. आ जाओ जल्दी जल्दी ज्वाइन कर लो सब लोग. 89764209. That's your code. If you win, please share some material. Acha. Give me your name the first, and then how do I share is another point. Okay. Aajo jaldi, everyone join in. 89764209. That's your code. Easy hone chahiye questions today, but the time constraint will be a problem. So make sure that you're answering quickly. You're not wasting a lot of time reading the question as opposed to, thinking about it and answering. That's one of the points. And Aajo, we will start. I'm going to start in just a few seconds. And since we've done all of this in the previous days, etc., it should not be very difficult. So मैंने अपनी तरफ से easy बनाने की कोशिश करी है. Okay. All right. I'm going to start. First question on your screens, everyone. Another word for variegated. Another word for variegated is multicolored. When something is variegated, that means it has a variety. All right, it has maybe spots of some different colors on it. That's variegated. Monochrome means one color. So that obviously is not our answer. When you have multicolored things, it is variegated. That's our first question. Let's look at the leaderboard and see who has been able to answer. Bear, Mukesh, Ishan, Anirudh. Okay. All right, cool. Let's our next question पे चलते हैं. For the next question, on your screens. Antonym of aloof. Antonym of aloof, okay. All right, very good. And aloof means somebody who is unsociable, who's an introvert, who doesn't talk much, doesn't say much, is unapproachable, not very friendly either. That's aloof. So the opposite of that would be somebody who's very sociable. Somebody who talks also, all right, is okay with mixing up with people, is an extrovert. Gregarious is exactly that. Gregarious is a sociable person. Reserved is the synonym of aloof, so that can be your answer. And eccentric, matlab somebody who's very weird, strange, unusual. So that's eccentric. Okay, that was our second question. I will show you the leaderboard. So in terms of your leaderboard, we have somebody whose name is Mukesh Ambani on top now. And then oops, Nishan. All right, okay, cool. Third question, all of you. On your screens, so what is the meaning of the idiom blow one stop? We've done this in one of the classes earlier. Blowing one stop, we've done this. Correct. Being extremely angry is blowing one stop. Or when you're extremely angry, when you're losing your temper a lot, okay, ill-tempered in that sense, that is blowing one's stop. Being extremely excited or happy is not what this one means, and so answer becomes C. Okay. In terms of a leaderboard, we have, wow, okay. And here I thought we've done all of these, so it should not be very difficult. So now on top, lol second, Nishita is second, and A is third. Okay. Let's head to the next question, fourth. So fourth question says, talk 19 to the dozen means. It's again another idiom we've done before. Not talking at all, talking rapidly, or talking nonsense. So talking 19 to the dozen is when you're talking a lot and you're talking really fast. Okay, so the idea here is not about sense or nonsense. It's about how fast you can talk and how much you can talk. So answer then becomes B, talking rapidly, talking fast, talking hastily, at a speed that's really fast. That's what talking 19 to the dozen means. So here in terms of a leaderboard, then you have, wow, I think Mukesh is still going to be on top, no? All right. Then you have Casper and somebody called Hee. All right. Last question. Question number 5. Another word for imprudent. We've done this. Again, we've done this word. Very good. So imprudent means unwise. Prudent word means somebody who's very wise, far-sighted, durdarshita, that kind of thing is prudent. So imprudent would be somebody who's not wise at all, and not very judicious. All right. Hasten, maybe a little impetuous, maybe a little impulsive, bina soche samjhe kaam karta hai, that is imprudent. Okay, so that's where we will end the Mentee. Before that, I will just very quickly show you the leaderboard. And who was Mukesh? No, who's Casper? Congratulations, Casper. You have won. And then there's Mukesh, Aditya, and there's Oops, Bear, he, Ishan, Lor, Anirudh, Jain, etc. etc. Okay, congratulations, all of you. Take care of yourselves. That was where I will end your Mentee for the day. I hope you had fun. This was a Mentee which was basically a revision of everything. So I hope you realize कि जितना भी हमने किया है, it's important that you revise all of those things once at least before you can think of that thing as something जो आपको आता है. Okay. Okay, Bharat is 4th. All right. Okay. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I have another Mentee schedule for tomorrow at 9. Okay, so make sure that you're all attending that, because for this week, it looks like these are the 2 days that we could manage Mentee. So, aaj aur kal. So, tomorrow I'm going to see you. Pragna was Casper. Okay. All right. Congratulations then. Have a very good night, all of you. Take care of yourselves. Be good. Stay safe. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.